Hello and welcome to Wake and Jake. Breaking news. Matty Mass is here. BBD is still on vacation. But the bigger news than that before BBD comes back Monday, Robbie Ray, starting pitcher, formerly for the Seattle Mariners, former Cy Young winner, traded to the San Francisco Giants for some other major leaguers. Former Mariner, oh, look at this jersey swap I made. Some kid on Twitter posting a picture of Mitch Haniger back in Seattle, along with Anthony DeScalfani, my Paisan King pitcher. Instant Reaction posted a video if you want to go see my actual instant reaction. Man, pitching is in a crazy place right now. Robbie Ray, who signed a 5-year, $115 million contract. He's 32 years old. He's owed $73 million over the next 3 seasons. So, quick math. Matty, you're a math guy. 73 goes into 73.
73 goes into 73 once.
That's easy.
Right.
Right. Once if you go right to left, and then 3 goes into 8. Almost 3. So he's getting 28 million a year. I don't know, man. So bad.
73 divided by 3?
Yes.
24.3?
Right, that's what I had. So Robbie Ray's getting 24.3 million next 3 seasons. He's only going to be available for half this season, maybe. He's coming off Tommy John, although we've gotten a lot better with Tommy John. And speaking of Tommy John, by the way, end of this episode, a little Friday late night drop app, by the way, to get the 2 in this week. Why not? Even though there wasn't an ad commitment, it's a commitment to the people. Go buy a shirt, shop.johnboymedia.com. Maybe it was an ad commitment. Reggie Crawford of the San Francisco Giants, who were involved in this trade, first-round pick. He was in the office last year. I forget if we did Wake and Jake or if we just yucked it up.
Farm to Fame with Kelsey.
Boom, 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 boom. That's right. Awesome dude. So if you're looking for some smiles and some good energy and some workout tips from 2 really in shape guys, come check that out at the end of the episode. Going further into this trade, let's start off with the San Francisco Giants. That makes a little more sense. They acquire Robbie Ray, who should be back in midseason. And I think the bigger thing here for me, Chris Sale, since we last talked, got an extension, almost $20 million a year. The Braves think they're going to tap into Chris Sale. He gets a full offseason of workout. He sneaky pitched more innings than you thought last year. The comparison in Braves land is Charlie Morton. Charlie Morton they tapped in later in their career. Maybe they got something for keeping pitchers healthy, although they had some pitchers get banged up last year. So I think the bigger fear is the current free agents that are available. Snell, who Yankee fans are slowly talking themselves into out of need. Jordan Montgomery, who is available, but at a crazy high price, a very similar price tag to Blake Snell, who just won the Cy Young. But Snell gets treated completely differently because he walks a few batters. I've fully come around on Snell, partially because I'm a needy Yankee fan. Also partially because if half of Snell's walks were singles, would you still hate Snell? I don't think you would. So, and he's pitched in big games. He's pitched in the AL East. He's a Cy Young winner. He's going to come in at least $100 million less than Yamamoto. Might be closer to $200 million less than Yamamoto. And that could also be the Yankee fan kicking in on Snell. Jordan Montgomery was a guy that was viewed as a back-end starter. Like, hey, he'll give you some good innings and solid outings. He had a great stretch, and he tapped into some things pitching-wise with St. Louis's pitching coaches, and then he had an awesome playoffs with the Texas Rangers. He is at an all-time high value in free agency, which that's scaring teams. If Jordan Montgomery had a 4.2 ERA last year, which if he did that this year, well, I was going to say if he has a 4.2 ERA next year, no one will be shocked by that from Jordan Montgomery. If he had that last year heading into free agency, Jordan Montgomery's probably a nice, just dropped a bat in the office, 3-year, $60 million contract. Maybe more for innings and maybe more for pitching because that's the whole point of this. the pitching market is crazy right now. Lucas Giolito, who gave up the most homers in baseball last year with 41, he just basically got 2 for 40 with an opt-out to the Boston Red Sox. So the need for pitching is so very real, innings and stretching out starting pitching, that the Giants said instead of going to the open market on a couple of these starting pitchers that are available, we're going to take a chance on Robbie Ray. I'm not saying the Giants are done. That's what they're trying to theorize. What's the word I'm looking for?
I thought that was a word.
Theorize?
Yeah.
Theories, thoracices. That's triangles.
I think you're good.
I think I'm good. I saw Giants fans saying also moving Haniger was going to give them room to sign Cody Bellinger. So let's see what happens there. They did sign Jung-Hoo Lee this offseason to a $100 million contract. People forget about that. The Giants, they can still fill out an outfield, and Mitch Haniger has been hurt a lot. When he's healthy and playing, he's put up good numbers, and that a lot of those good numbers were with Seattle. So he returns there. Let's see what else the Giants have in store. I wouldn't be surprised if they add another starting pitcher, but the fact that you can kind of pencil Robbie Ray into the middle of next season, and hopefully the next two after that in a pitcher-friendly ballpark, there's some solid expectations there without having to give the 6-year, 7-year risk for some of the starting pitching that's available. We'll see if they do anything on offense either. You know, the Giants lineup has 7 7-hole hitters. Tyro, Wade Jr., Wilmer, Conforto, JD, Yaz. Last time I said this argument, I did say 6-hole hitters, and I'm going to change it back to that. It felt rude for a second. Sorry, Giants fans. Let's see what else they have up their sleeve for this free agency. And I think they're going to get in the mix more. They were the team that I thought was going to go Snell and Chapman, just because I thought you could get both of those guys and you're going to get some value out of them. I think they've got more moves coming. They've been trying to make moves and getting declined. Now, for your Seattle Mariners, they get Mitch Haniger back. Sure, you can slot him into right field DH, although they just signed Mitch Garver to play DH, so that's kind of interesting. Another right-handed hitter. Mariners fans were mad at me because I was saying they have to replace Eugenio Suarez and Teoscar Hernandez. They're starting to do that. They brought in Mitch Garver. They brought in Mitch Haniger. They brought in 2 Mitches. What's that about? That's sus. Super sus. Their lineup is looking okay. J.P. Crawford got on base at a 380 clip last year. Julio Rodriguez, stud, handsome. Mitch Garver, Cal Raleigh, Ty France, Mitch Haniger. That starts going into your Giants 6-hole hitter theory, just like a little bit. You'd like another big kind of lefty bat, and you wouldn't hate what the Mariners lineup looks like. That is ignoring the guys in their division, but for now, let's focus on the Mariners. They still have a lot of their bullpen's thinner than it used to be. Munoz, Brash, and Topa, and Gabe Spire had a nice year. Good for you, Gabe. The rotation is where the Mariners butter their bread. Luis Castillo, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Bryce Milla, and now Anthony DeScalfani pencils in as their 5, who, as a 5, like DeScalfani, 33, going into his 10th year of Major League service. The question for me from the Mariners, who they also have young Brian Wu, handsome, followed him on Twitter early. I always feel bad, Manny, when there's a baseball player that has like no following.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Wu wasn't really trying. Like, he was reposting his stuff from the Mariners. He had a couple good outings, good looking guy, and he had under 1,000. So if I see that, I get involved.
Yeah.
I got involved. Let's see where he's at.
It.
Let's see where Brian Wu's at, because I might have even forget if I said it on Talking Baseball. Brian Wu. Okay, 1,850. So my boost isn't incredible.
No, not yet.
My powers are still... last retweet was Kevin Durant saying Julio Rodriguez is ridiculous.
Agree.
And then on July 4th, he said, means the world. He was reposting the Mariners talking about his family. So, I don't know. He was, like, doing enough to make me be like, hey, I appreciate that. I think the Mariners are probably going to trade a starting pitcher. They're probably going to trade it for a bat. And then Mariners fans, you could kind of come back at me because their goal this offseason was to cut down on the strikeouts. Teoscar led the league. Eugenio struck out a ton. They're adding different bats to the lineup. Mitch Haniger did not play well last year and was hurt. Maybe it's something in the Seattle water. Let's see where else they go. And maybe most importantly, if they're willing to trade starting pitching, what we've seen is starting pitching has real value right now. People are scared of the free agents because you are going to have to pay them a lot of money. And look at Robbie Ray. That was a free agent that teams were scared to pay. He just had Tommy John and got traded from the team. Like, I was kind of laughing. I don't want to say laughing because that comes off as rude. Robbie Ray wins a Cy Young, signs 5 years, 115. When you sign that contract, you're like, damn, like we got a guy. Robbie Ray is going to be a Mariner forever. Robbie Ray is probably not a Mariner forever at this point. We'll see. You never know with the weird world of baseball, but I would currently bet against that. Everyone wants winners and losers of a trade. This one's kind of bizarre because I think it's going to balance out. I think if you had to pick, you'd probably lean Mariners just because there's less risk involved. But I also don't like that because Robbie Ray could be a good pitcher for 2.5 years, and then I think the Giants would win. So everyone likes that game. For this one, doesn't work out too well for me. Both of these teams are going to be looking to make a lot of other moves, and I still think that's the exciting part of this offseason. I mentioned free agents that haven't gone yet. A lot of the top ones heading into this offseason, besides the guys, Jordan Montgomery, Cody Bellinger, Blake Snell, Matt Chapman, Marcus Stroman. What is he going to get? Who wants him? And then you're starting to get into some corner outfielders. Teoscar, JD Martinez was good last year. Soler, Josh Hader's out there. I think the other thing that we're seeing happening with the Red Sox trading Sale, with Robbie Ray getting traded, the trade market must stink right now. Dylan Cease. We've heard so much about him, and will he be traded? And there's been more rumors about that. He's got 2 years. Sounds like they're asking for a lot for Dylan Cease. Corbin Burns. I mean, the best pitcher available, the guy that feels the most like a game changer. It's a little rude to Dylan Cease, who was so good 2 years ago. Last year, Dylan Cease wasn't great. That Corbin Burns is kind of Corbin Burns. He's a dude that whatever team he would get added to, if he even gets traded at this point, that's what's going on. Tyler Glasnow got traded, and you need to give him an extension as a part of that, and he's only pitched, I think, 100 innings once. And so for the Dodgers, that was a super luxury because they paid a bunch of other superstars that they're not actually paying. What's that all about, Dodgers? I think Yamamoto's only getting like $5 million next year or something. Joe's was pissed.
I didn't know that.
It takes a lot. Well, actually, it doesn't get a lot to get Joe's emotional. But Joe's was actually mad for a second that, again, that the Yankees more so weren't involved. And more so, it was the how do they keep getting away with this gif. Breaking Bad. Only seen one episode. Final episode. Kind of spoiled things for me. Really bad move on my part.
Yeah.
All-time show.
It is. I haven't seen one episode, so you're ahead of me.
But I don't think the ending really ruined it for me. I think I could still watch and enjoy.
Yeah.
That's for another time, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know what's going to... I guess one shoe is going to start dropping before the other. Is it more trades or is it more free agency? I think I lean more trades. Because teams just seem a little afeared of the rest of the free agent pool right now.
Awesome.
Maddie?
I didn't want to cut you off.
Right.
And it's nothing major, so I was sitting on that button for a little bit. But did you see the Rockies made 2 signings?
What? Nothing
Rockies
major?
sign right-handed pitcher Dakota Hudson and a little bit of a bigger name, catcher Jacob Stallings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rockies. I almost had a mean tweet yesterday about the Rockies.
No.
Because, Maddie, if you go to Rockies' Twitter, although I'm happy they got Dakota Hudson and Jacob Stallings, former Gold Glove catcher. Dakota Hudson looked like he needed a change of scenery, but usually for pitchers, the change of scenery in Colorado isn't that good. Yesterday, the Rockies, 22 hours ago, the Rockies tweeted out Colorado Rocky Mountain High, and it's a bunch of steers outside the stadium. And I was just going to do like a cold stove type tweet. Kind of mean at the Rocks either, but I just decided it wasn't worth it. Whatever I was about to say there wasn't going to help the situation. Wow, Billy Joel playing at Coors Field, 7-12. Okay. Change your summer plans, people. Let's see our next moves besides the Rockies signing Jacob Stallings. Good defensive catcher. Nice. God. This free agency is going to get ugly and then pretty again because teams are desperate. Yankees need a lot of pitching. Mets have done nothing. Oh, they signed Harrison Bader. I'm sorry. Like Harrison Bader. Nice guy. I don't know. There's still a lot of big teams with a lot of big needs. I got really big dreams, and I got a really big team. It seems like teams would rather flush out the trade market. The last two guys traded are two, injured starting pitchers with big contracts. That's normally the opposite of what you're looking for.
And the Braves extended sale, right?
Yeah, the Braves are peacocking.
Yeah.
They really believe in what they're doing, and they have a reason to do it. Although this is kind of a big year. If they have another good regular season, nothing in the playoffs, people will start turning against the Braves a little more. I don't think there's any other baseball news. I think we've covered that. It's a big NFL weekend for a few teams. It ends on Sunday night. Buffalo Bills and the Dolphins duel it out. Two good teams playing for the division, I think. So that's fun. Tune into that. There's still Dolphins. Can they beat good teams type deals going? The Bills are starting to play a pretty good brand. I think the Bills can be the 2 seed in the AFC, or they can be out of the playoffs. So that's fun. If you're interested in playoff scenario percentages, and if this happens, you're kind of at the wrong place right now. I wish I could help you out more with that. But next week will be the introduction to the playoffs, so we probably will have a football-heavier episode at that point. For now, I'll tell you, here's a delightful interview with me and Reggie Crawford, having a good time. So go watch that, and then the episode will just end. So thank you, and we love you. Hello and welcome to a friend of mine, I consider. I get a little too close to people sometimes. Reggie Crawford.
Hello. How we doing?
How you doing, man?
Doing well, man.
When were you here last?
October or November of last year.
Because it was after the draft.
Yeah.
And okay, so it was right after the season, something like that?
Yeah, right after the season in 22. Yeah.
Okay.
22.
So how you been? Just catch me up.
Been good, man. Just, first season back from TJ.
Yeah.
So that went well, can't complain. Arm's feeling even better than when I went out.
Yeah.
More so just, get acclimated to pro ball, get my feet wet again, get some ABs, get some innings on the mound. But yeah, dude, can't complain. Everything's good.
I say we're friends. We're not hanging out every weekend, but we have been Insta guys. I was telling when Maddie said you were coming through, I was like, Reggie's my guy.
That's right.
You're not shy with a like.
No, dude.
You'll throw a comment out there, too. I appreciate that.
I give credit where credit's due. You post those fits, dude, I'll comment. What do you mean?
Need that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll change the tone completely. You mentioned TJ. When that happens, because in a way that's it's a pitcher's nightmare, but it's also not anymore. It's almost, what is it, 50% or something? There's a crazy number of pitchers that get to the show that have Tommy John.
Yeah.
But that's got to be an emotional roller coaster too, because you just know months of rehab are coming and this sucks and I'm not playing baseball. So what are those emotions like?
Initially when it happened, I was like, oh man, this is not ideal. Because when it happened, it was my last fall scrimmage, going into Christmas break and stuff, and there were probably like there was every single team back there. There were probably like 50 scouts, and I threw a pitch, felt it, and I was like, oh man, this is not good. So I kind of knew what it was, but it's like that's my reality. Like,
right.
I'm not going to lose sleep over something I can't control. So it's like, all right, how do I maximize this downtime that I have per se? And like, yeah, it's not the same surgery that it used to be. Like there's a lot less question marks. So knowing that, it's like, all right, as long as I do the stuff that I need to do, control the controllables, then I'll be fine. Like regardless of what it looks like coming back. I honestly wasn't worried, and I just tried to make the most of my time and distract myself from that, because there's so many ways to where you don't need to sit at home all day, looking at your arm hoping that it magically heals up tomorrow, because it's not the case. So I'm not just gonna sit with my tail in between my legs and but no, it was good, man. Like if I could go back and do it again, like I would do it the same exact way.
Right.
I would do it the same exact way.
Well, not every other pitcher can hit too. Mm-hmm. So like what was that time? Like when were you able to get fully back into that? And for you, were you able, again, life gives you lemons? Yeah, life gives you lemons. Something I'm not good at talking, which is horribly ironic for what my career has turned into. Uh-huh. But like for you get a chance to focus on hitting, right?
Yeah, so hitting comes back much earlier than the pitching does.
Right.
But it starts a little bit later than the throwing does. So I think I started throwing at like 4 months, I started swinging at like 5 or 6, but then at like month, I think 10 or 11, I was good to go for games for swings. So, it does, give you a little bit of time. You could still like track off the machine. You could still visualize and stuff like that. So there's still, again, ways to where you can get a lot out of it, even though you're not technically doing much on paper.
Right. So for this upcoming year, we're going to the what team does Canobio pretend he owns or something like that?
The Richmond Flying Squirrels.
Richmond Flying Squirrels. That one, man, when I turned and I saw how excited he was, because he tells us, I'd say once a month, he'll like raise his eyebrow and he'll be like, flying squirrels. So to hear you're going there, I'm excited. For yourself, what are like your goals for the upcoming year? Is it, because you got a lot of different ways you can go with it.
Yeah.
So
for me, like, what the season looks like is what it's going to look like.
Right.
And for me, I want to stay healthy, because I think as long as I stay healthy, then everything else will take care of itself. And I feel like, this season will go the way I would like it to. Obviously, I want to end up in San Francisco sooner rather than later this year. But yeah, I mean, what that looks like, as far as pitching, hitting, both, it'll be what it'll be.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll roll with the punches.
Is there any zoom in? Is it like, or I guess even for the off season, is it like, hey, I want to work on my contact swing. I want to work on my power swing a little bit. I guess for you as a player, like what are things you're working on that you kind of want to see more of this year? So
for me, at the plate, it's just limit strikeouts, and then on the mound, just get a solid third pitch or like solid changeup.
Okay.
Because right now, fastball, curveball, slider, like they're feeling pretty good. But the changeup was one that like I didn't have a ton of feel for until after TJ, and I have somewhat of a feel for it now. But I feel like if I could get that dialed and if I could throw that anywhere I would like to, then that'll really.
Can I say, or is it like a circle change or?
Yeah. So I go here. And then
the ball looks a little different in your hands than my hands. So I don't know what that is.
I'm trying to play around because that's the problem is I would choke it because I could get so I need to find a grip, and I think I found one, but this has been working, and it was working pretty well towards the end of the season. There was just a day when I woke up and I just suddenly had feel for it, and I was like, all right, this is pretty cool.
Feeling.
Yeah, for
that's
real.
A good feeling.
Yeah, no, just I'm excited. It'll be good. It'll be a good season.
For the changeup, because I love what you're saying because it's feel, and I think the other big thing for the changeup is how much it looks like a fastball. Like I know that sounds basic, but like that's massive. And for all the best guys in the bigs, like you see that, and you can see hitters like feeling that. And it's so I guess do you get for that? Does the spin rate and like does that stuff still matter? Like is there stuff they're looking for, or is it basically just drop? Because end of the day, that's kind of what you're looking for. But you also need the same arm slot and like deception, where instead of like a big curveball, it's like, whoa, those RPMs jump. That's what we want.
Yeah. So for me with that, just maintaining the same arm speed as my fastball, that's the only thing I need to worry about, because of like the way my fastball, my curveball, my slider plays, like I don't need to have, this changeup that moves everywhere.
Right.
Like just taking something off my fastball, like that's essentially just all we're looking for with that. But for me, it's just maintain my arm speed, and the rest will take care of itself. Because, it does play well off the fastball, my other pitches as well. So that's about it, dude. Just throw it fast, but don't throw the ball fast.
Right. That's the trick.
Yeah,
that's the trick. Do any of the guys ever give you, like, I don't want to say guff, but like, do you get to pick and choose when you get to do, like, are you doing double work, pitcher hitter, or do you get to kind of do 1.5 and do a lot of the fun stuff?
So I get to do a lot of the fun stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the way to live, man.
Yeah, it's more so like, all right, I would go throw with the pitchers while like the position players are, doing whatever. And then, I'll come in for BP and then, hit some BP, and that's about it. That's the extent. And then, ground balls and stuff. But it's tricky because, you can't take your traditional, PO approach or like hitter only approach or position player approach, because like you have to essentially like kind of handle it as if it's its own position, because it kind of is. Right. So day to day, like it's always different, and a lot of it goes off of how my body's feeling. So it's like, all right, like I'm gonna be feeling iffy rotationally, so I'm not gonna throw too much, I'm not gonna take many swings, maybe like a ground ball heavy day, stuff like that. So like it's literally just gathering as much information and trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and like trying to just develop your own plan, because that's what it has to be.
I've got one dumb question. Because at each level, the hitting ticks up, the pitching ticks up, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you feel that fielding wise? Because I saw you a two-way Reg. Like, you got to field too. Like, you're playing first base. Like, I don't know. Do you feel that? Because that's tough. I mean, to be a pitcher hard, to be a hitter's hard, and then to put in work on the field too. Like, that's another part.
Yeah, it is. But so for me, I played in the fall this past year. At the plate, awful. But the field, it wasn't like the ground balls, it wasn't the plays. It was like, it was, all right, where do I go if the ball's hit in the gap and there's a runner on first, and like it was stuff like that.
Right.
So like positioning and just like being refreshed of that, because like obviously you watch the game and it's different being out there for it, but like, you're seeing pitches, you're tracking pitches, you're doing all that, but you're not getting those reps like physically, like positioning, and like that was the weirdest part, because I'm like, all right, like if there's a runner on first and it's hit down the first base line into the corner, like you do like a double cut and stuff.
Right.
Like, the stuff I was like, I don't know. It was just that was a little bit weird for me. I found myself asking more questions to the first basemen and the coaches about that over anything else. Something like I wasn't even thinking about it, but yeah, that was one, and it was surprising.
That always trips me up a little bit, because, well, this is very Yankee stuff, but the Jeter flip play, it's like my favorite play in baseball history, because I've never seen that. I just haven't, and it was playoffs, like game-saving play. And then, like, the people that knock that play, knock it.
Yeah.
But they're like, well, yeah, that's where the shortstop's supposed to be. It's like a double backup, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I just never seen that. I just never seen that. But when you think about, like, man, especially first base for years, it was like throw the chunky kid over there and like we'll figure it out. But dude, now first base with shifts, or I guess shifts are kind of out, but still, if there's a righty pull guy up, you got to be over. And then like you're saying with double cutoffs, like it's work over there. Yeah, it's kind of a grind.
Exactly. So yeah, that was the part that I was like, all right, I have a lot to remind myself of over here. So I definitely felt the most uncomfortable there initially. But then, like, instincts took over and stuff like that. And then, after 2 or 3 games, you're back to where you were before. But initially, I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
It was like almost 2 years. 2 years and some change since, played first last time. So, yeah, been a bit,
Damn, man.
Yeah.
We're ready for AZ. We got the house locked up and everything, or what are we doing?
Yeah, I closed on my house in June, so
Okay.
just trying to figure
Let's
out pieces.
go.
Yeah, no, I'm excited
Congrats,
about it.
man.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So
do you have boys like living with you for spring training and stuff, or
no, just me.
Okay, good
just
for
me.
you.
Yeah, so just chilling there. Been trying to piece it together.
Yeah.
So that's been a project, but yeah, dude, really happy about it. Yeah, just brainstorming what I could put where, and yeah, it'll be good. It's nice having a spot out there.
That is nice.
Yeah.
I think kind of the last thing I got, I talked about Instagram a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen me in the gym. I heard are you cooking up full birds or something? Are you making chicken smoothies or something like that?
The chicken shakes.
I heard a rumor about that.
The chicken shakes.
What's going on there?
Hey,
Any answer that starts with the hey.
Sometimes, like
We're well built guys. I get it.
you get it. You get the grind, and like you need your protein. Like I see you in the gym. Like I see the gym selfies,
Yeah.
and I'm at the point now where like I look at chicken, and like it's difficult to eat it. I cannot. I feel like I've had so much in my life to where it's just
grinding to like get that protein.
And there was a day where one of my boys, he was visiting me. He's like, dude, I got something for you. And he's like, chicken shakes. And I'm like, chicken shakes? He's like, chicken shakes. And, cooked chicken, threw it in a blender, water, spinach, a little bit of olive oil, blend it up. It was like 40 ounces of chicken shake. And you just chug it. And you could,
Is this a morning, afternoon, night?
Whenever.
When it's chicken shake.
Whenever you're like, dude, I need
time.
calories, I need protein. Just like, take your chicken, and like if you meal prep, whatever, just throw it in the blender, throw some water, and yeah.
Is it good?
No.
Okay.
But
Okay.
But I would obviously rather do that. Like again, like this isn't all the time,
Right.
But like sometimes I'd rather do that than eat chicken. So,
Hey man,
sometimes you're desperate.
I want to say this. As someone, I grew up as I was a little chunky growing up.
Uh-huh.
I still fight it. I still fight it every day. Man, I don't think enough people appreciate the grind of athletes trying to eat.
I think it's arguably the hardest part, at least for me. Like,
yes,
just consuming calories and the amount of, protein every 30 to 45 minutes is just like,
the guy who opened up my eyes, and I was flexing him before, Cole Tucker, when he's come through the office a few times, and he was like, bro, like I think he's naturally like kind of a skinny guy, and he's like, dude, I gotta eat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's tough because that's every day. That's every week.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'm telling you, chicken shakes.
Shakes.
I'm telling you, it's an easy.
We got to start branding that.
Yeah.
That's got to be the thing.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, chicken, water, spinach, a little bit of olive oil. It's chicken flavored water. Like that's all it is.
Chicken flavored water might not be the selling point.
Yeah, we could.
We got to work on that a little.
Yeah,
bit.
we could reframe that, but.
Chicken in a can. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
No, yeah, we'll get it going for sure.
We'll get that.
No, I'm telling you, next time I'm in, I'll have a chicken shake for you. All right?
Unfortunately, our social media guys are going to hear that, and we're going to be drinking chicken shakes.
Yep.
So as excited as I was to see you this time, it probably won't be the same because I don't think I'm going to start the chicken shakes.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'll do a mini chicken shake. We could set that
40 ounces is a lot.
No, that was,
40
ounces.
Like,
it was a lot, dude. But like, I don't know, just a lot of protein.
A lot of protein. I get it. I get that part. I just haven't been swirling up birds.
No, I know. Yeah.
Are you getting a pre-cooked chicken, or are you cooking chicken then putting it?
It depends. Like sometimes I'll get just like a rotisserie chicken, so I don't need to cook
Yeah.
it. But sometimes I'll meal prep stuff, so I'll just make a bunch of chicken, and then it's easy. Just take it out of the fridge and just throw it in the blender. But yeah, like the first couple of times, I definitely overdid it. Way too much chicken, probably too much water, and
There's a recipe.
and then I end up with like this much of a shake, and yeah. But dude, I'm telling you, like it's you can't don't knock it till you try it. And a lot of people, if they try it, they won't do it again. But still,
So then they can knock it.
yeah. So then they can knock it.
Well, Reggie, I'm glad you came through again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Got
for
some
having
Jimmy
me.
time this time, right?
Uh-huh.
I think, where was he last time? I don't know. I forget.
He was doing something.
Having
Yeah.
a kid or something like
Yeah.
that, you know. Dude, I'm a big energy guy, and whenever I see you, man, you got good energy, and
appreciate
that's
it.
half the battle, man.
I appreciate it.
It really is.
Yes,
so
sir.
hey, we'll be tracking you in the Squirrels this year.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
And then maybe the Giants.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
We'll have to get you out there.
Hey.
You know, get to a game or two.
I'm all in on
Got to
that.
make that happen.
Thank you, Reggie.
Great
Appreciate
job.
you.
Appreciate it.